Welcome to Spirit Journeys. I'm Rita Ricks, and I'm so glad that you're here with me today, and I'm also excited about my guests. I have some of the sharpest young ladies with me today that are sharpest on the entire planet. I have Erica.
Hi.
That was cute. Erica's going into the 10th grade, and I have Miss Megan.
Hello.
And Megan is going into college this year. This is her freshman year. And then I have Navy.
Hi.
And Navy is graduating this year. So I've got a wide range of experiences. They're all articulate and smart and beautiful. And I'm just really excited about having them with me today. So, as you remember with Spirit Journeys, what we do is identify an epiphany in the journal. Permission granted. Hold the journal up for them. Thank you. So you're welcome to go on my website, www.speaktoyourspirit.com, and order the journal or give me a call. I'm happy to get it to you. So we're going to get started. You guys ready?
Yes.
Okay, so each of them has chosen an epiphany, and I'm actually going to start with Navy.
Okay.
What number is it, baby?
40.
Okay.
It is don't make excuses, make plans. It says the more excuses you make, the harder it is to move forward. Commit your goals to paper and develop a plan of action. What is your vision?
So why'd you choose that?
Because let me see. It fits in my life right now with me going into my last year in college, and there's a lot of things that I want to do. And I try to stay away from complaining and stay away from as many excuses as I can. And my mentality now is, why can't I? Like, I don't make excuses. If I say I want to do something, why can't I do it?
Mm-hmm.
You know? So since I don't have any reasons why I can't, it's no reason why I shouldn't. So instead of saying, oh, I can't do this, I'm going to say, I do this. I'm going to do this.
Good.
And I like to write things down now. Like, even when I'm at school, like, if I have a lot of things to do, first thing I do is get a piece of paper. It can be the back of a gum wrapper. I'll get a piece of paper and I'll write, okay, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this, just so I can keep track of everything that I have to do. So instead of saying it's too much, I can't do it, I plan it out. So it really fits into my life right now. So that's why I chose this one.
And I heard that you have written your goals, because Mom told me that you wrote your goals for just next year or further out.
For just next year. I try to do maybe a year or a semester time span just so I won't, overload myself, but I do as long as a year.
Okay. All right. Very good. Good. I'm glad you chose that one. Do you all have a comment or a thought, or want to just move on?
I think we should all think like that.
Yeah, definitely.
We should all have that mentality to say that we can do it, and there's nothing that could stop us from doing what we want to do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I happened to be watching an interview with Dr. Ben Carson today, the neurosurgeon and the author, and he said that everything that you need to really get to get your life right and to make it wonderful, you get between the ages of 0 and 25. Mm-hmm. And so if you want and you're going to live to at least 80. Mm-hmm. So if you want your next 40 years to be, or 60 years, to be great, then now is the time to be figuring out what you want to do so that the next 60 years will be great. Because if you don't figure it out, the next 60 years you'll be struggling.
Right.
And we know a lot of people that struggle. Mm-hmm. So this is just a perfect answer to avoiding that struggle. So thank you very much for that. What you got, Megan? What number?
I have number 21.
Okay.
You are unique. Think about it. There's no one in this universe like you. Your uniqueness begins and ends with you. You are powerful, extraordinary, and special. What gifts and strengths do people see in you? Mm. I chose this one because coming from a small high school, you were unique, even though we did wear uniforms. I went to a private school. But we could also accessorize and do things with our uniforms, and everyone had their own thing. So it wasn't like, since I went to St. Gertrude's, people would ask, since you guys wear uniforms, aren't you guys all doing the same thing, whatever? But there were so many different people there. Navy went there, mm-hmm. and some of my other friends, and it was a different atmosphere than you would get, I guess, going to a public school. Mm-hmm. And also going into college, being unique, because it is bigger than my high school, but it's still a small college. Mm-hmm. I want to, branch out and do more things that I have never done before. to make myself more well-rounded so I can be more of a unique person.
Good.
So, yeah.
Good. So uniqueness, what's that word mean to you? When you say that word unique, what does it say to you?
You have your own thing. You don't really care what other people think. You do care what other people think, but you do it on your own. Like you do it how you want to do it. Just being yourself, being your own.
Being your own true self.
Yeah.
Great. It's called being authentic.
Yes.
Good. I love that. Thank you. Thank you, Megan. Anybody else? You guys, do you feel unique, Navy?
I do feel unique
Why?
because I guess I'm at a point where I know that there's no one else like me.
Right.
So that just makes me feel different. And I know it's like a lot of people, like a lot of people we have, some similarities, but it's something in you that makes you you that nobody else can
Right.
have. And I'm learning that about myself. And I think you too should learn that about yourself, especially with you going into college and you being still in high school. It's definitely important to keep that part of you. Don't, try, I know it's good to stay with the status quo, but try to stay away from the status quo. Do something that makes you you. That whatever it is, whether it's your fashion or whatever whatever you do that you want to do, just make sure it's you, so nobody else can take that from you.
Yeah.
Right. Special.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
good. Thank you. Thank you. What do you have, Miss Ladybug?
Okay, so I have 29, and that's don't quit. You are much too close to accomplishing what you set out to do. If you quit now, you will never know how awesome it could have been, nor how profitable. How do you see it playing out? So I chose this one because, like these other two ladies, I went to a private elementary school and part middle school, which was All Saints, and then I transferred to Wilder Middle School, which was a public school in Henrico County, which was so much different. And coming from a private school where I didn't have to ask for help for anything, I just got everything just like that. Everything was easy. Then I got to middle school and things were a little bit harder. My worst subject is math. So things got a little bit harder. Then I got to 8th grade and I had one of the hardest things I've ever had to do, which is algebra. And I took the test maybe 3 times in middle school, maybe 4. And I couldn't pass it. I kept getting between the 390 and 399 percentage. So then
you were like 1 point away.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So then by that time, I'm like, my self-confidence is down because I'm like, why can't I get it when I've never had to ask for help before? Which was part of the problem because when I was struggling during the school year, I didn't want to ask for help because I never had to do it coming from All Saints where everything I've done was just so easy. So fast forward and I'm in summer school and I'm like, I don't have to do this because I know I'm going to already get it. Well, I fail it again. So then I go back and then I fail it again. So I get to high school and I'm told that if I can pass the geometry, I won't have to pass the algebra. So geometry, even though I was a freshman, I was in a 10th grade class, which is the geometry course, and I ended up passing the geometry course. And so I think I chose don't quit because even though I failed that algebra test maybe at least 8 times, and I wanted so badly to just say forget it, I shouldn't. Now that I passed geometry, I don't have to do algebra. I'm still going to go back and finish my algebra, because just because they say you don't have to do it, you've already gotten by, doesn't mean that I have to say I've already done it. I don't have to go back. It's about me wanting to do it for myself. I don't have to just because I'm going to graduate with my geometry credit. Doesn't mean that for myself I shouldn't go back and prove to myself that I can do it, because clearly, since I've done geometry, I can clearly do it.
Did you ask for help? Did you get
For
help?
geometry?
To
Yes,
pass?
yes. Which is what I think made me pass it, was because I realized coming from algebra that when, pride is just such a bad thing, because I had so much pride and I even want to say embarrassed, to ask for help, because I was so used to just everything coming to me that when I started seeing that I couldn't understand it, I would just, be quiet, try to get it on my own, which just didn't work. So coming into 9th grade, I had a whole different mindset as to, what I was going to do. And I think that paid off because I ended up getting a tutor. I stayed after school for tutoring sessions. I had my own personal tutor. I had my aunt. So just all
You
these
didn't
di-
have your grandmother, though.
No, didn't have you. But I just had all these different factors, and I ended up passing it. So it just showed that, you know, once I put my mind to it, you know, anything can be done.
Good. Thank you all.
Yeah.
So rather than us asking for another epiphany, rather than my asking you for another epiphany, I really want to kind of explore school, because who knows who's listening to us and who's watching us and who we can really bring some wisdom to. I wrote a couple questions down that I want you guys to share with me, the
Okay.
answers. So my first one is, what is the best lesson you've learned so far in your 2018, 16, is that about right?
Right.
Years? Either of you can start. What's the best lesson that you've learned?
Well, I think the best lesson I've learned is to learn how to be quiet, because sometimes I can just talk so much that I don't hear what's going on around me. I don't listen to what anybody else has to say because I'm so intent on getting what I have to say out. And so I think in high school it kind of humbled me, because I'm not the only one in there trying to get what I have to say out. It's a lot of girls, you know, that are little and trying to make their place and trying to talk and get what they have to say out. So I think that my biggest lesson especially my freshman high school year, was to learn to just be quiet and pay attention and listen, because there's so much that is out there to offer. But if you don't pay attention and you don't listen, then how would you even know?
Good. Thank you.
For me, I would say it would be perseverance and discipline.
That's one of my favorite words, is discipline.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
One of my favorite words, Megan.
It's a hard thing to handle when you're younger, because you want to slack off sometimes and you want to procrastinate. But if you have the discipline to study when you need to get your work done when you have it, you'll do better in classes, because you just have more time to do what you need to do and also what you want to do. Perseverance, because like she said, you always have to keep going, even though sometimes you feel like you just want to quit. And sometimes it is really hard, but you always have to just keep going and know that you can do it.
And I love that word discipline, because discipline spills into other areas of your life. If you become disciplined in one area, it spills over.
Right.
And it allows you to stay in control rather than wasting time trying to figure out what am I supposed to do next. And you're exactly right. If you are disciplined, you have more time, because you're not wasting time on stuff that isn't going to get you where it is. So I love the word.
Yeah.
I love the word. Very good. Persevere too, but I really love that discipline, because again, it just helps you in so many areas of your life.
It does.
So that's good. Thank you for that.
I've learned to be patient. And especially with me going to Virginia State University, and whenever you guys go to college, you're going to learn that they're going to do a lot of things that maybe irk your nerves. Whatever school you go to, they're going to, I don't know, they might lose something. You're going to have to go give it to them. And I've learned, especially from Virginia State,
You have to
be
keep
patient.
saying that. We got it.
Yeah.
Since that's my alma mater. We got it. We got
To be
it.
patient. I've learned to be very, very patient with them, but patience also, like discipline, spills over to
It
every aspect
does.
of your life. And so with me, I had to learn to be patient, because I tend to run out quickly, and I tend to always want something when I want it. But I had to learn with my grades and everything, it'll come when it comes. What I have to do is just work and try my best to get whatever I want to get, but it's not going to come immediately. And that's just what I've learned throughout just being in college. Just to be patient and just let things happen when it happens, and not to rush anything.
That's good. That's good. So my next question is that you are wrapping up, and Megan is just going in. So I want you to share with her some words of wisdom for her, because she's just entering. And then I want you, Megan, since even though Erica's going in the 10th grade, something that you would like her to know. And then she's going to pretend that her cousin Chelsea is here, and she's going to share something with Chelsea. So see how that works? So what would you do? And of course, we can all benefit from all that each of you says.
Megan, I want you to stay focused. It's college, so of course it's going to be a whole lot of hoopla, especially for freshmen. So, y'all going to have, Of course, interact with your class because they're your classmates, and you want to get to know as many as possible. You want to network just in case, you need somebody later on in your college career. But stay focused. Make sure you stay focused on your schoolwork, everything, any extracurricular activities. Just stay focused and make sure your GPA stays up, because your freshman year and sophomore year, like high school, is your most important. And eventually, as you go throughout college, your GPA will just balance out, and it won't really move, but it'll just kind of balance itself out. So keep your GPA high. Stay focused on your academics. Party, but not too much. Stay safe, and don't put your drink down.
Okay.
Wow. Wow.
Don't put, even if it's Coke, no alcohol, but just anything. Don't put it down.
Yeah. Okay.
That was just deep. That was deep.
For Erica, I would say to stay focused as well in high school, because, I know all these other things go on. There's these other girls talking about what they did this weekend or whatever, and how they went drinking, and they did all this weird stuff that high schoolers do, but it's you guys are kind of young still. So, yes, stay focused. Just, like I said, persevere, because I know high school can be hard, because you are looking for, you're still trying to find yourself. You're trying to figure out, like what do you want to do when you get into college? What's going to happen when you get to college? That's still my question. Just keep your, well, you want to have fun, like she said too, but you don't want to have fun at the level that they have fun. Not yet. So yeah, just like she said, stay focused.
Yeah.
So what would you tell Chelsea?
I think I tell Chelsea mostly what they said, to stay focused. I know she's just in 7th grade, but in 7th grade, there's still so much, that everybody else is doing. Because 7th grade was not that long ago for me. So I know, kids going to high school parties and just, you want to fit in, but at the same time, you want to please your parents, and then you want to get the grades. So I know, especially with Chelsea, that's hard, balancing everything out. So I would just mainly tell her to make sure she does what's best for her, and not to try to please, the group of friends, or try to please the parents too much. Make sure you're the perfect kid, but to be a balance of both. And
You making sure that you're not necessarily the perfect kid?
Not necessarily. Nobody's perfect,
right.
But I'm saying that don't try to be perfect for the parent.
Yeah.
Or be the perfect friend.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is that she should be a balance of whatever she needs to be for herself, and whoever is, I guess, friendship-wise, not okay with that, let them go early. So then when you get to high school, you're not still trying to figure out who's your friend and who's not, So I think that that's the main thing, and staying focused, because even in middle school, your GPA, since she's in advanced classes, her GPA starts in 8th grade. So when she gets to 8th grade, that's her freshman GPA. So I think that's the main thing too, to make sure that you don't lack off your last year, because I almost did, and then I got back on track when I realized that her 8th grade year is the beginning of actually high school. So, and like they said, your freshman and sophomore year is your most important year. So, yeah.
Okay. Good. Who's your role model?
Do I start with that?
If you can.
Oh, okay. I kind of have two. Is that okay?
Of course.
My role models are my aunt Dr. Lewis, and my mother, Bonita Johnson. My aunt Kathy is my role model because she has been in school all of my life.
All of your life?
Yes. All of my life. All 20 years of it. And I remember when she was in college, she went to University of Virginia, and I used to go up there and spend the night with her all the time. And I'm not going to say that was my first dosage of college life, but it kind of was, because she would take me to the dining area and to concerts and stuff. And, I would hang out with her friends, stuff like that, because she was an RA, so I could stay with her over the weekends. And Kathy, she's just so smart and so focused. And what hit the nail on the head was my sophomore year in high school when she graduated Morehouse Medical School with her MD and her PhD at the same time. And that was just like a really big inspiration for me to just maybe want to do better. And my freshman and sophomore year in high school, I wasn't doing all that great. But my junior and senior year, somehow I turned around and I started doing amazing. And I think she was a big part of that, because seeing her accomplish so much just by staying focused and just by simply wanting to do it just helped me to turn myself around. And my mother, because she's just so ambitious, she does so much at once. It's hard to say. Like, people ask me, what does your mom do? And I'm like, I don't know, because she does so much. I can't put a pin on exactly what her title is. But what I do know is that she works very, very hard to make sure she provides for the family, to make sure she does what she wants to do. And she's very helpful, and she's just a great person. So my mom is one of my role models as well.
It's a good answer. Good answer. I've not met your aunt, but I can't wait to meet her, because, you know, she's a pretty sharp woman. That's what I've heard. Yeah.
You'll like her.
Yeah. Oh, I know I will. I know I will.
I would have to say my mom is my role model too, because she tells me to do what I need to do for me, because some people get things faster. For me, we kind of have like dyslexia, so we get things backwards sometimes, but we have to read things over and over again to get it. And she's like, don't try to keep up with everyone else. Do it for you. Do it how you need to do it. And she's also good with balancing things like her work and play and stuff like that. So I want to be able to do that as well. Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
How about you?
I think my role model would be Imani Randolph, which is my mom's friend's daughter, and she is a graduate of North Carolina
Central.
North Carolina Central.
North Carolina A&T.
A&T.
Yeah.
And I think that she's my role model because I see so many similarities in myself and her. And I think that she's such a strong person because she's been through so much, just from high school to her college life. We both have difficult relationships with our fathers. And somehow she's still been able to, maintain it and fix it and work on it. And so I look up to her because that's not always been easy for me. And she's had, problems in the past with friends and not necessarily bullying, but she's had problems in school, and so have I. So I look up to her and how strong she is as a person, because some of the things that she's been through, I can't imagine, but to see her today, you never know it. And I see her relationship with God and how strong she is in her faith, and I just aspire to be like that when I get older.
Good. She is. Do you all know her? You don't know her. Okay.